Hello, and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucie.
Hi.
It's a sad week, I guess. I mean, you're one of the most anticipated films of this year for you. Might not happen.
Yeah.
You're a big Western fan.
Mm-hmm.
You love those cowboy shoot 'em up movies.
I'm a big fan of that dead cinematographer also.
What? Oh, wow, you really went for it, huh? I wasn't gonna say the name of the film. I was just gonna. Wow, all right.
I'm a big
Strap in. Lucie just loves the. Do you know her? Her work?
No, that was a joke. I gotta remember her name.
Woo! No, look. I mean, Hollywood elite. What are you gonna do?
Okay, that's way harsher.
I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to give you a life raft here, Lucie.
That's so much worse.
I know, but I mean, I'm drawing the fire. No, it's a tragic thing. Our hearts and prayers go out.
Our hearts and prayers.
Well, what do you want? My farts and dares? Is that what you want? You want my prayers to Satan?
I want you to revenge kill Alec Baldwin.
Wow. I mean, I really like Glenn Ross. I mean, I really like it. It's one of my favorite films. So that's going to be...
It's already made.
That's a good point.
Well, he's going to make it again?
I sometimes fantasize about him like doing it as a play, but not like a run on Broadway, but like, and not just for me. I mean, I'm not like, it's not like some weird fantasy where he comes to my apartment and just like does the speech for me and I'm like a fanboy, but I'm at like a classy, upscale dinner party. Not all celebrities, but some celebrities, some men and women about town, jet setters, some guys playing the piano, and they coax him into doing a Glengarry monologue after dinner. And it's all great fun. It feels like an episode from the later season of Mad Men, and you know,
are you at
David Duchovny turns to me and goes, "Pretty good." And I say,
so you are at this party. It's not a fantasy about this happening, and you're not there.
I would love it. I'm writing a novella about a fictional party where Alec Baldwin is coaxed into doing a monologue of Glengarry, and that's all. But now it's not going to be realistic. Now, if you read that novella, I mean, would you even buy that? Would you even believe that could happen? That he would be at some party with David Duchovny after what has transpired?
Well, I think maybe I could see him. You could doubt whether or not he would be at the party given what's transpired. But I think if he was at the party, it would be much easier to get him to do things.
Oh,
now that he's murdered someone.
Oh my God! Well, first of all, I don't think he's murdered. Well, look, it's possible, but that's murder. Don't forget, murder involves intent, or at the very least, like a willful. Like if he knew it was loaded with a live round, or / fired the gun at someone when they weren't even part of the shot, maybe you call it murder. But
all I know is that he is directly responsible for the death of my favorite cinematographer and a human woman.
Put that coffee down, though. Right? I mean, that's pretty good. But yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we can get him to come on the podcast, and we're not going to bring it up. If he comes, all right.
We have to bring it up if he comes.
Why do we? We're gonna be the sleuths. We're gonna be the gumshoes who get him to crack if he has to crack. First of all, he might have might have nothing to crack about. It's a tragedy. Who knows why it transpired? Why this live round, if it was in the gun. But do I think if anyone could get it out of him, it's us? Maybe. But
I think we could, but
are we doing this?
Is the idea that we're going to bring him on the podcast and then you're going to ask him to do the monologue?
Well, earlier in the show.
Okay.
I mean, we're not going to lead with the other thing,
right?
I mean, you make it seem it's like that Stephen Merchant interview. Not Stephen Merchant, Jesse, the guy from Peep Show, with the journalist.
Yeah.
And there's a fluff piece for an hour, and then the journalist comes on and goes like, "Oh, by the way," in the last 5 minutes, he goes, "By the way, you said this thing about trans kids years ago, and I have 2 trans kids." And it was just very much like, and that's how you do it. You You ambush him at the end after you have his like good connection with Alec Baldwin.
You want to Columbo him. Just one more thing.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. One more thing.
Well, that's actually smart because then we get. Here's the thing: we get him into that character, that kind of heartless character from Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yes.
And then maybe when he's in character,
he gives me a hug. Not kiss.
I was thinking he could confess, but sure, maybe also he gives you a hug.
Oh, it's one of those confessions like, yeah, I did it because I'm a winner.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's probably a character actor, so maybe like that's what he's going to occupy when we put him on the spot. He's going to occupy that strong man from Glengarry Glen Ross who carried literally brass balls in his briefcase. He needs those right now when we're interrogating them. All right, so I don't know. Do we have a producer like a talent booker?
No way.
We don't have one. We're gonna get one because we need someone on this.
Yeah.
We need Alec Baldwin, and we're not gonna bring it. Tell him we're not gonna bring it up. Don't. Why would you tell him that? He's gonna assume for the rest of his life that everyone's gonna ask him about it. So don't tell him. Just lie.
Right.
He knows when you say we're not gonna bring it up that you're gonna bring it up, but you don't have to say it. You can just lie to the man.
That's true.
Who is our talent booker gonna be? Does he have a home, or is he a homeless man? Because I don't look.
A homeless man might work because then it's
someone who's prepreferably like maybe someone who's homeless outside 30 Rock.
Someone who can play on the heartstrings.
Yeah,
of these guilty rich celebrities.
Some guy who used to sit outside Rockefeller Center every day, and Baldwin probably gave him a couple bucks because he's a good guy.
Right.
And then you go, hey, remember me?
Because they know that they based a character on him that wasn't flattering.
Which character? Jack Donaghy?
I mean, I don't know, just some random.
Everyone likes that character. He's a fun character.
No, I mean the homeless guy.
Oh.
It's a gag character.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, whatever. But we're going to give this guy a job. We're going to employ this man for a bit. Not a bit, like for a while.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a full-time. I'm not giving them like dental benefits. But, we need an in with Alec Baldwin. And we're helping the homeless.
Right.
This is all good. We're charitable people. Very excited. But it is a rough week, not just because of Alec Baldwin and your love of Western films. One of your personal heroes, I believe. Dare I say, your greatest hero, Colin Powell, has died.
Yeah.
I mean, he was what was he? He was the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He was the National Security Advisor at one point. He was the Secretary of State, most famously, probably, the Secretary of State. Was that his most prestigious position, you think?
Probably, yeah.
Was it his most, what's even a term you would use?
Well received?
Well received or like, is he going to be remembered fondly for that role? Perhaps not.
Maybe not.
I mean, he famously went in front of the UN in the build-up to the Iraq War and started telling him about how, look, I've been to Saddam's house. We watched porno together. I know this guy has these weapons. Trust me. I hang out with his kids. Uday, Kusei. I got him on speed dial because it's back before iPhones and stuff. He literally had him on speed. He's telling, who was in the Congress back then?
We go bride raping together.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, look, it's a very touchy thing, this guy, Colin Powell. Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone's talking about his, up until that point, it was a black mark on his, which don't say black mark. He's a guy, this is first black, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, first black Secretary of State. Don't say black mark, whatever.
Isn't it a red mark? No, it is a black
People,
mark.
it's a term, but, be on the ball here. Don't say those things in the articles. But, like, they're saying it's a black mark and it's otherwise a prestigious career. Which is like, yeah, that's true, but like, who gets the job of Secretary of State who has a huge black mark in their career? or general, who becomes like chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff who like, yeah, sometimes he gets drunk at the mall and like gets arrested? No, right? I mean, these guys all like by virtue, when someone like screws up at like the highest level, you can't bring up like how qualified they are. Everyone's qualified. They've gone through Senate confirmation, right?
Yeah.
So that bugs me. But he was a good guy. He was probably a good soldier. I mean, he worked under Reagan. I don't know what he did. I think he was in Grenada. Was that a good war?
I don't know that was good either.
Well, you hear a
Does
lot.
He seem like he was a good soldier.
As much as
Did
any.
he actually see combat?
I think he might have been in Vietnam. I mean, look.
I'm gonna swift boat him here.
I don't know of anyone who's in the look. You can get a field commission and and be in the war and become a lieutenant and an officer, having started out as an infantry guy. I don't know that anyone who's the chairman of the Joint Chiefs though. They were all going to ROTC at Yale or whatever, probably. And I'm making this. I mean, don't correct me, whatever. But but for all we know, he could have been the guy, with the tube, and the thing comes out, the mortar. He could have been the mortar guy in the platoon. We don't know.
We don't know.
I mean, we're not like some people, like Charlie Sheen in Platoon. He could get mad at the officers and go, let's frag the lieutenant. We're not in a position to judge whether or not he was a grunt or if he was just telling guys what to do. You're still in the jungle.
I disagree. I think we're the perfect people to judge this.
I've never been to the jungle. I mean, I don't like bugs.
Yeah.
I get very humid. Anyway, the point is, I don't know. What do you remember about Colin Powell?
I mean, other than the Bush years, nothing.
You buy. My point is, you buy his story that he was hoodwinked by the Bushes and the Cheneys. That's his stance basically. I don't know if he ever publicly said that, but I've read plenty of articles have said that Powell was privately furious when it was going on because they left him out to dry. Which just seemed, the kind of stuff they were bringing up. And they found nothing. I mean, this is like saying, hey, you get a bunch of guys together, hey, we're going to go I got this party for us to go to. There's going to be Australian women. We're going to have imported beer. We're going to have a lot of cheese. It's going to be great. And you show up, and it's a Denny's. And there's one fat girl, one fat guy, and they're dating, and there's no one else. But I thought they'd be here. It's naivete is my point. It's how do you have that much detail and it's all wrong?
So is the story that he was furious behind the scenes because he knew it was a scam, or was the idea that he really thought this was real and then they got there and it wasn't?
Yeah, I don't. No. He according to his private rage, he thought it was real. He thought the yellow cake was real, I guess, and the moving. Remember, he had the charts with these are the moving trucks that they have the gas or whatever in.
Right.
And then I can't believe, how is this guy? I've said this for years now. I said it at the time, a month in, when we haven't found anything yet. I'm like, well, they better just fake it.
Right.
I mean, they were so, everyone was like, really, weapons? And they were like, trust us. Colin Powell was like, look at me. I served in Grenada. How could I lie to you? And the level of what they hinged on it, and no one just, you pay me $1,000, I'll show up with some VX gas, and I'll bury it in the sand and go, I found. No one even tried to fake it. I can't believe.
Yeah, that is weird. I mean, didn't they kind of try to do it later? After people were already sick of it. I remember seeing something in the New York Times where it was these may have been weapons of mass destruction.
Well, sure, yeah. It was 3 years later, and it was years later, and they found an abandoned school bus, and it's hey, maybe there's something in there at one point. We don't know.
Looks pretty spooky.
I bet you could fit a bunch of anthrax in there if you really wanted to. A lot of space. So I don't know, but I feel bad. He died of COVID complications. He should be remembered. I mean, I would like. Should I go?
How well do you want him remembered? You want a Colin Powell day?
I want to go to his funeral. Can I go to his private funeral?
I think it already happened, but
fuck. I wanted to do the dress.
Actually, that's a good point. They didn't have a public funeral for him. I guess they don't get those. Secretaries of State don't get those.
What do you mean, like a presidential funeral? where they have a horse and they pull his casket? No, that's not different for every Secretary of State. That'd be great. I mean, you guys should be like you're the Commerce Secretary.
Yeah.
And it's just like you and your dumb corpse is being carried by a horse. I would totally go in the government for that. I would just love to have a horse carry my body anywhere. Bring it to Denny's.
Yeah.
That'll be a party. Yeah, but I would like to go on the funeral. I wanted to dress up, but what's the term for it? Stolen valor? I wanted to do stolen valor at his funeral.
Okay.
I thought that'd be nice. But like, as a I mean, I'm calling it stolen. I wouldn't say it to his wife. I wouldn't say, hey, I'm doing stolen valor. But like I'm telling you, it was like shorthand. But like I would say to her, hey, by the way, I'm not really in the military, but I wanted to do something nice for your husband.
How is that nice for Colin Powell?
Because the military is probably look. He has a stain on his record, right? He got duped with the Iraq War. The good years was when he was in Grenada, and he was telling Reagan, how to fight the drug war. Maybe I don't know what he did.
Yeah, but he's probably gonna have military honors at his funeral.
No doubt. Oh, of course. He was a chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. I would imagine that he would have. I've been to some military funerals where they don't have the 21 gun salute.
Yeah.
But it's like 3 guys. I mean, is that always the case? I mean, do they ever have just 21 guys and just shoot once? I feel like he should get that.
Yeah.
Because usually it's like 3 guys and they shoot 7 times.
Would you want to be in your stolen valor outfit?
Yeah.
Would you want to be part of the 21 gun salute?
Oh, I mean, that'd be such an honor.
Yeah.
I mean, could I bring my own gun? Just have a handgun. just a gun from Rust. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I haven't thought about him for years, but he was one of our better disgraced generals. And look, the Iraq. How many people died in the Iraq War? Like a couple thousand. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that's.
It's a long time ago now.
Now, what did he do in retirement? Was he one of those guys? Did he have a painting?
He was hanging around.
Hobby?
Probably hanging around the mall. They like talking to young people. Just it made him feel young. Tried to get him to join military. He was
So he was just a recruiter?
He would hang out at Zoom. He wasn't recruiting per se, but he would hang out like Zoomies and Journeys and all these weird emo skateboardy kind of, but not real skateboarders. I don't think. Just
that's a good spot because the kids they're filled with angst. They're filled with rage that can be channeled into the military.
Yeah, but he would pull the grandfatherly thing. He would just kind of put his hand, and not in any creepy way, but like there'd be some weird kid with with dyed roots or whatever you call it, and he's a little Twinkie skateboarder kid. And he's like, he puts his hand on his hand and goes, what would really make you, radical half pipe guy? You know what would make you a radical skateboarder? Is just being part of this military and you go to Grenada and you do whatever you want. No one really knows where it is, in America. So like you tell them, the Congress when you come back, we did peacekeeping, and you were just hanging out, with a bunch of Australian women, just having an orgy, whatever, and killing whoever you want. It's great. What? I mean, what is he gonna tell them? Boot camp's really fun. That's not how you recruit kids.
That's true. Yeah.
Are we still in Grenada as a country?
I don't know. I mean, probably. They probably have a little presence there.
Where is Grenada? It's in South America, right?
Is it? I don't know.
Sorry, Grenada. We don't mean to.
I'm too dumb.
I'm dumber. So R.I.P. Colin Powell, I guess.
R.I.P.
Anyway. Yes.
Sorry, never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. I guess we'll get the Batman out of the way.
This is a nice Batman.
Thank you. This is a Batman from a story I haven't read yet. This is from, or maybe this is not. This is from Dark Knight's Death Metal. Now I've read Dark Knight's Metal, but this is Death Metal, where they really amp up the allusions to heavy metal music, which I know you love.
Now he doesn't have a cape in this one.
He doesn't. He has this weird. I mean, he basically looks like a Grim Reaper with this sickle. So I don't call him dark, death metal Batman or whatever. My private joke to myself, my reality I want to live in is that he is Obamacare death panel Batman. So if you have to have a knee surgery, Batman comes and looks at your knee and decides if we should, hit you with a sickle instead.
Right. Yeah. Oh wow.
Because that was a thing, right? People were very afraid
and the elderly. He'll probably be decapitating a lot of the elderly.
Imagine, how much better of a country. No one wants that to happen. But I mean, if that really, the level, because the narratives in this country they're all crazy, but they're also all just so dumb, like QAnon and all horse shit. But imagine if that one was true, that a guy like Batman would show up at your grandpa's bed in the hospital and decide if he gets to get a kidney transplant, and if not, he slits his throat.
See, this is what the death panel idea was missing. It's I think he can't come to their houses. I think it needs to be a public display. It's a public purging.
They just do it at the gallows.
It could be a source of entertainment.
I mean, what do you call that platform? The gallows is where you hang people, but he's gonna. I mean, what is that? Because you're not beheading necessarily with a sickle, right?
Right.
How does the Grim Reaper kill? Is he just or does he just point with the sickle?
I mean, yeah. How do you kill with a sickle? I mean, maybe you impale
him in the ass, right? I mean that, and you go up. Yeah. Look, if anything that goes into the ass and up, probably it's gonna do some damage. That's the first thing they teach you in the military. Right after, right before Grenada, you learn that. Should I go to boot camp? The Zoomies, they're asking Colin Powell, this kid, should I go to boot camp? Nah, just stick something in the guy's ass and go up. Well, anyway, let's get a beer. But yeah, I mean, how false was the death panel thing? Was there some version of the death panel?
No, I don't think so. I think it was completely.
So how do they decide
false.
who dies? I mean, I'm just saying, if you're having any kind of insurance company, someone's got to decide who lives and dies, right? Is it just some egghead?
What do you mean?
My grandma has cancer. Do we put her down or not? Is it just?
I don't think anyone gets put. I think some people can't afford treatment, and they get put down in a way. But I don't think anyone's sitting around saying let's put some people down. No, we have to put 50 people down today.
They wouldn't use that word probably. They would say, administered. I administered. That's not great. What's a better word? I facilitated 50 patients. It's not facility. What's a good word? I blew. Maybe you may mislead people. I filleted 50 patients. And you go, this nurse is crazy, but she's really killing them with Batman.
Right.
Anyway, I don't know. So no one's. I mean, someone's deciding. The insurance company. Someone's deciding who dies.
That's true.
I mean,
that is true in a way.
And it's just some egghead. It's just some weird pencil neck guy who probably online dates too much. And he brags about eating, sushi. Mm-hmm. We all eat sushi. It's not whatever. Have you ever had ahi tuna? That's what he says to a woman on a first date. The guy who decides your grandma lives or dies.
And when you ask him what he does, he says I'm in medicine. I help people.
Yeah,
right.
I help people. He writes. He draws a little Ghostbuster symbol over your grandma's heart and says, "No more, no life."
Yeah. You got to always be wary of anyone who says they help people for a living.
No one helps people for a living. You know who helps people for a living? Colin Powell in retirement at Zoomies. He's helping young people, realize their warrior side.
Become an army of one.
Become an army of fun with Colin Powell. I would love to get a beer with him and Alec Baldwin. That would have been great. That's not going to happen anymore. Because I picture Alec Baldwin saying, I don't want to do it. And then Colin Powell pulling a sidearm out and going, I'm the goddamn ex-chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and you're going to do a little play for me. And then but he puts the gun in his own mouth. Anyway, so that's Batman. That panel Batman. Did you want to play with him like you usually do? You can play with him a little bit. Which brings up to our He's carrying a stork for little babies.
Yeah.
He's a stork Batman, alternatively. Which brings us to our next topic. It's a big topic in a few different ways this week. A lot of people are talking about paid parental leave in various forms, I guess. Now, that's when you have a kid, and it's not you taking a sick day to give birth. It's the time after, right? It's the time when you have a little baby and he's outside your body now, and you've pushed him out, and it's your time for maybe a mother, maybe a father, maybe whatever. It's very, very important to be inclusive with the language. I'm reading, whatever. Don't look at me. Don't side on me. But a lot of times mothers. And
you get what?
You get 6 weeks?
Months? Or a couple of months to get to know
this thing, this idea that you had about 9 months ago. Now, before we get into the meat of it, what is your position on family leave? Do you think it's I
think it's good. I think men should get some time to spend with their baby.
Right.
I don't think it should
like Pete Buttigieg. Pete Buttigieg and his husband both adopted 2 babies, and people are giving them crap because they're taking some time to bond with the kid. You think that's fine?
Who wants Pete Buttigieg back so quickly?
I don't know what the hell he does what does the transportation secretary do? I don't know. But you're fine with this. I'm fine with it too. I'm not putting you on the spot here. I'm just asking.
What, you want to just leave the 2 babies on the street to figure it out? Somebody's got to watch them, right?
Well, I mean, the man of means. I mean, they probably wouldn't leave him in the street per se. I mean,
yeah, but you don't just want to adopt a kid and then leave it to its own devices. You gotta make it part of the Buttigieg identity, the family identity.
I mean, I could never trust that kid. I mean, that parental leave would have to be 18 years because I would never leave that kid alone in my house. Adopted kids, crazy. You don't know what their agenda is,
right?
Maybe he does. Maybe this is like from his point of view, a GOP, guy. This kid, he's a GOP kid. What do you call him? What do you call that?
Republican?
Yeah, but he's like a plant.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway,
and he's coming up with material so that later he can write a tell-all about what bad gay dads he had.
Oh, imagine the long game on that.
And run as a conservative.
I mean,
so arguably, Buttigieg pulled the same shit with his Marxist dad or whatever.
What are you talking about?
His dad was a Marxist.
Okay. And he complained about it?
And he went all lib on him.
What does that mean?
I mean, I don't know that I guess he didn't denounce his father or anything.
Libs don't like Marxists?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Oh, okay. Oh, libs were Marxist.
Well, there's further to the left. Buttigieg is like a centrist or whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah, he's a CIA
Who
plant.
cares?
Yeah,
He's
he works for the agency. Point, look, it's fine. I don't care. Yeah. He's just an example. People give him crap.
So why do people have a problem with this?
What do you know? Your pussy's not ripped in half. And people saying stuff like that. Maybe not those words, but that's how I.
Gross. I assume they're women. What gross women are saying this?
I think it's a lot of men, but they're saying they're saying stuff more like you don't have to heal. I added the flavor, the embellishment. Because the part of it is you have to you have when you push a baby out of the vagina, right?
The vagina.
That's how it works. It tears a lot. And
it takes a bruise.
Sometimes it tears the vagina to the asshole right in half.
Sure, yeah, that's true.
So I mean, some of it's just the heal, and they're saying you don't have to heal, you don't have to milk these kids, which I
you don't have to watch your baby eat your shit.
Yeah.
Out of your asshole.
Eat your own shit. What?
Yeah. Well, it's a callback.
Eating shit.
Remember what we were talking about before?
Eating last week you mean? Yeah. Yes. Good call. You're the archivist of the show.
Yeah.
I got concerned for a second. I think it's fine. Then Meghan Markle is out there, and she's she's the princess of San Bernardino. Where is she now? She's the Duchess of In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
What is she part of the royal family?
I don't know if I thought they weren't anymore, but apparently maybe they still are.
She's married to Prince Harry, whose mother was Princess Diana, and she was killed in a car crash.
And they had a TV channel baby.
Right. And they call him Archie Well. We covered them a lot.
Yeah.
She wrote a letter to Pelosi and Schumer, the people in the Congress, saying she advocates for maternal parent care, whatever they call leave. It's a very, which I don't know. What do you think about that endorsement? I'm a little taken aback there.
I mean, it's like, it's gross.
Yeah.
I can't think of a worse messenger.
It's like I don't need the Queen of England chiming in on how many days off how many sick days I get.
Right.
If I get bronchitis, I gotta ask the fucking the Prince of Monaco. Stay the fuck out of American. And then I'm reading this article, and she's the British tabloids are going after Meghan Markle again, and this time they're making for no reason they're making a baseless claim that she should stay out of American politics for no reason. Yeah, because she's part of the British royal family. I don't care if she grew up in L.A.
Right?
Who gives a shit? You chose your side, and it was Britain, and then you left it. But we don't just take it back.
And she's only writing it and getting the publicity because she's part of the royal family.
Right.
Nobody was going to listen to the actress from Fringe, from that episode of Fringe.
One episode of Fringe. Don't Sully Fringe. She was from Suits, right? I'm just saying, why doesn't Meghan Markle talk about how me getting I want my job to give me orthopedic work boots when I work at the butcher. Can Meghan Markle help me with that? Are you now the OSHA? Is she OSHA? Stay out of our business, Meghan Markle.
So did Pelosi have a response to this?
She probably had poached eggs with her and said, she wants to donate to the Archie Well Foundation.
Yeah.
These people are all crooks. Whatever happened to fighting the British or keeping them off our turf? I like British people, but I mean, just stay. You come back. Now you're making Netflix docs and you're crying to Oprah. Just don't tell them. I don't care if you're right. I don't care if I agree with you. I don't want to hear from her. She wouldn't even let her own dad go to her funeral.
We might want to move to England at some point. So I want some influence.
She's
when I
not
get
very
there.
popular in England. The British are the ones that are going after her. These tabloids.
No, that's true. No, you're right. This will probably make us more popular.
This is our love letter to Britain. This podcast. You know who really burns my crumpets? This Meghan Markle. Who she think?
She's a real cunt in the British sense.
Yeah, I can't do a British act. What's a British phrase? She really thinks she's the Thomas's English muffin. She really thinks she's the Beatles. The British people like the Beatles.
Well, no. Now they it's old to them now. I think
it's old to everyone.
Yeah.
we got it like a week after they did.
Still new to me.
I don't know. I mean, you think Harry's gonna? What do you think Harry does all day? You think he just plays Xbox?
Yeah. What is he doing? I mean, did he pen this with her, or is it just her going out on her own?
I mean, yeah, look, I'm sure he she showed him the iPad. Look, honey. And he's playing Call of Duty, calling some kid some, whatever weird colonial racist term they used but when you were occupying India back in the day.
Yeah.
British and,
calling him a pollywog or whatever.
I don't know. Is that going to get us banned?
I don't know. Is that a real slur?
I think it probably was at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
And he's like, yeah, it's fine, babe. It's fine. And then, what's our kid's name again? I forget.
Oh, Archie Well.
No, he's saying no.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
That's just something he's asking his wife.
Oh.
I don't care what it was a point to that. He doesn't know his own kid's name. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, but here's the thing. These people can all have their parental leave. Two men. A man and a woman. A man who's got a wife whose pussy's been torn apart in half, and he's gonna bond with the kid. They want to bond with the kid, right? That's fine. I say we give it to everyone, but I wanted to, and I don't want to have a baby.
Now, do you want what under what circumstances would you take it?
I think everyone should get 1 once every 3 years. Maybe you average it out based on your workplace. Like the average amount of babies that get born in a 5-year span, you get X amount of. But let's just say it resets every 5 years. Every 5 years, you get 3 months, and you can just have leave and.
Well, maybe it's the kind of thing where you can get a bereavement time. If you're,
because I killed my kid's dead.
Because you could claim, you could claim temporary infertility or permanent infertility, and you can just mourn your dysfunctional body.
Okay. Here's a more practical idea. What if everyone gets paid parental leave, but you can take it in advance? So I can take my leave now, and then when my kid comes, just leave him to his own devices. I don't need to bond with the kid. It's not
right.
that he's kind of a weird kid. He's baby. So I'm gonna be playing Xbox and smoking, I don't know, PCP with a prostitute or you, and then like when the kid comes, you'll just be like, just leave him at a McDonald's Playland. Is that workable?
That could work.
I mean, why don't we just what is it with childcare these days? Why do we need so much like money for? Why can't we just get like the ratios these people have? You should have one trained person should be able to watch like 50 kids. It's like a 1-to-5 ratio. You put him in a circle, and then he's kind of like it's milk time, and he's kind of go around. You get milk.
You're imagining a place where people drop off their newborns to be nursed by one person.
No, I don't mean like one breast. Like some poor woman's got like
You drop off the kid. You drop off a big bag of milk, whatever you could squeeze out.
Okay, so we're providing. I thought it was just random milk, but okay, you can provide your own milk. And that gets complicated though, because then you do need like a 1-to-5 ratio, or whatever. I'm talking about.
What you get is sort of like a Postmates thing going, where you get a big bladder of milk out, and then the Postmates person comes by and drops it off at the Playland.
Yeah, but I'm picturing this. Because this country's not getting any better. All right? Can we stop pretending we're already basically, everyone's like, forgive student loan debt, right? Okay, what does that mean? We're probably not going to have a bunch of kids going to college anymore if we do that. And either way, it's like it's not going to either go to college probably. Don't quote me on it, but maybe don't go to college, right? Because there's no jobs, right? And like everyone's $300,000 in debt. And we're all going to be working minimum wage jobs, and it's going to be horrible. So how about we stop pretending like this kid's going to Yale? All right? And we just have a giant vat of milk on the second floor, and you just have a funnel, and tubes come down, and you put in the kids' mouth, and everyone's drinking the same milk, right? And it's just a big industrial, like the Matrix, but with milk. All right? And then when you need to hug a kid, you just get a bunch of you give them like a doll. Like a blow-up doll, but not a sex one. But we start making blow-up dolls.
Something that looks vaguely adult, like something that's bigger than the kid.
Yeah, something that looks like Urkel from Family Matters or something, whatever. Like something kids like.
I mean, I don't foresee any developmental issues spawning out of that.
And then you yell at the kids when you need to, and you just fucking go, "Hey, stop spitting." You
have a milker, you have a hugger, you have a yeller.
Yeah.
And then maybe an educator.
Maybe a spitter. Somebody just spits at the kids. We don't do spanking, but we do spit. Now we've checked him for diseases. We think he's fine. I mean, we didn't actually get like a blood test or anything, but he says he's fine. And he'll spit. So if your kid starts crying, he'll spit on him. I mean, what would happen there? Wouldn't that make these kids stronger?
I mean, I think it would definitely give them more issues, but
What issues though? Like they're not gonna whine about.
Here's the great thing: they all
the type of cheese they get at Whole Foods.
Here's the good thing: they'd all have issues with the same small group of adults.
Yes, and then you go to the same thing. Yes.
I think a lot of the time when trouble starts is when people's issues start clashing. This person has daddy issues. This person has mommy issues.
Right.
They're clashing. They don't understand each other. But this way, they can all go, oh, you were hurt by the spitter? I was hurt by the spitter.
Yes, and we followed it. Like, this is your unit, right? This is forced, by the way. You don't get to opt out of this now. I'm deciding that now. And like, it's a child mill or kennel or what, like a dog. But because this is going to make healthcare possible. Because now those people are going to be the people you're in therapy with. That's your group therapy. If you start hitting your wife, they're the ones in your group. If you start, drinking too much, what's something people drink too much?
Alcohol?
Whose line is it anyway? It was improv.
Alcohol.
You start doing heroin, whatever. I'm saying,
Right.
I'm saying this is your group. You talk about killing yourself. Get the group together. Someone gets cancer. We play Russian roulette to give them a kidney. This is going to revolutionize child care, adult care.
Rearing of children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, the spitter, the spitter is like in the 1980s, the U.S. hockey team, right? Remember the Miracle on Ice?
Right.
Herb Brooks was a real prick because he had these guys from Boston College, I think it was, and the other one, I don't forget, Minnesota maybe, and they were rivals and they hated each other. So he was the prick. He made them do all these crazy things and that, and then they all came together to hate him.
Right.
And that was his plan. Great coach. And they know this is what I'm doing. I got the spitter. The spitter is going to unite these kids.
Now, do the kids at some point get reunited with their parents?
You go home every day. This is just like 14 hours of your day.
Okay.
I mean, you don't sleep at this place.
Right.
It's like the kind of place you go, but then you go home to whatever dumb bed you have. Your parents get to see you. I'm not kidnapping the kids, but we're like, oh, we have to have health, child care. What do you think your expensive thing's going to be doing? You don't think they're spitting on the kids, but they're not doing it in a cohesive way. You're gonna have some fucking guy who claims he went to like Vassar, right? And he's like, oh, I have a degree in child psychology, and if that kid starts calling him old or saying he smells, he'll spit in the kid. These people all spit on kids. That's the problem. But they don't do it. But with our method,
right, you
have a common enemy. Everyone needs a villain. And the problem is a lot of kids, they have these bullies in their life. And then they whine about the bully, and and they can't do anything about it, and they fixate on it for years. This is more of like a haunting phantom because he'll wear a mask. He'll be like that guy from Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, it's not going to be someone he can like look on Facebook and go, "Oh, he's doing well." It's just he's wearing like a leather bondage mask, but a big hole's cut in his mouth, so you don't know who he is. So you don't have to like, oh, like he got married to a beautiful woman. He's got 3 kids, and I'm not doing that well. He bullied. I thought I would do well after being bullied. People go through these things.
Yeah.
But the spitter's not going to be doing well on Facebook.
That's true.
No, the spitter's not going to be showing barbecue pictures with his bondage mask on. I mean, he might have his own personal account. I can't tell not to, but
in fact, we could require that the spitter be sort of a eunuch.
Well,
he exists in an isolated role in society.
Look, here's the thing. We tell it to the parents. And when I tell it to the spitter candidates, it's like, look, I do whatever, I just don't want to hear about it. I don't want to find out. Hey, you date people, you have a family, you need to take off. I don't let me hear any of it. If I find out that you're having sex with anyone, you're done. Right?
Right.
Like what's that? Like see no evil, hear that kind of thing. and we just get a spitter.
Yeah.
How many spitters do we need?
I mean, maybe 2 per 50 kids.
Yeah. And like how are they spitting on schedule? You think?
Well, I don't think it's I don't know if we want it to just be regular spitting times. I think it's a response to misbehavior.
Right, but also sometimes it's random because you need that. It can't just be because you need the haunting element. If he's only spitting on you when you did something wrong, then it's like there's not going to be any psychological issue. And we don't want a ton of it. I'm not saying all day, every day, spit, but like, sometimes you gotta be like the kid's making his bed, even though they don't sleep here. I said, but whatever. Or he's organizing his toys in a very good way, and the spitter comes over, and goes, and like and just for no reason.
Yeah.
And the kid's just confused, and that's what makes him successful later on. Is that he has this deep, weird shame, so there's confusion, but it's not the kid's not being molested. See,
yeah.
We're replacing the molesting and the rape and the touching and the depriving of food and stuff with just spitting. It's a cleaner thing,
right?
We're assuming it's cleaner. I don't touch their blood, but hopefully they're not spitting hepatitis onto these kids.
Now, what if the kids rebel? What if they join forces and rebel against this sort of like I don't know.
Like Home Alone? What are you talking about?
Eight couplet of adults who are watching after them and spitting on them, but also taking care of them.
I imagine they would do what I would do if a bunch of kids try, to rebel. I mean, so I physically rebel?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and go, hey, I'm going to hit a bunch of kids. But I mean, do you think like a bunch of kids are like, who's really going to fight, me or a bunch of kids? What do you think?
It depends on how many kids. 50 kids.
These aren't like, I mean, look. 50, 16-year-olds, maybe I couldn't take 50, 16-year-olds, maybe.
Yeah.
But what are these, like 5 years old? I take 55-year-olds, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You probably could.
I mean, they get spit on all the time. I mean, no one's spitting on me. So what are they going to do?
Yeah, your self-esteem is up here.
Yeah.
Theirs is down here.
I'll just fucking spit to my side and they'll go, and they'll start crying, shit themselves. That's part of the gimmick, too. Now, part of this is also I have a team if I ever want to do a heist. These kids grow up. And later, I send a spitter out to collect them. And it goes, time to come back to the fold. We got a job to do. And now these kids are 18, and like and they come rob a bank with me or something, or kill kidnap the Pope. you need a bunch of people to kidnap a Pope. If you kidnap the Pope in the Vatican, you have to like be organized, and you need someone a lot of people like watching different corners. And like spotters.
Yeah, I mean that would be good for subduing
fake priests.
Subduing, rebellion too. Is just knowing that you're going to be part of this elite force when you get older. That's a motivation.
Oh yeah, we're gonna tell them that we work for, a secret government agency, and that these are actually high level. But it's really just I'm running a little mafia.
Right.
Yeah. I'm using these kids to like funnel but I'm not putting the drugs in them. But we like put them in the backpack. But what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Anyway. Speaking of kids, Halloween's coming up. And you're a big fan of Halloween, right?
Love it.
You enjoy the pomp, the circumstance. I mean, what's your Halloween thing?
The fancy dress.
The fancy dress. I mean, do you enjoy trick or treaters coming to the doors?
I love trick or treaters coming to the door.
Little kids coming to the door.
One of the things that I regret, one of the things that I don't love about living in the city in an apartment building is that you don't get kids coming to the door.
That's why I'm bringing it up. Yes. So knowing how much you love, did I spill on myself? Knowing how much you love Halloween and those little spooky kids, what do we can we get some? I mean, I'm not in any weird way. Again, this is not. I'm not.
I feel like whatever you're about to say, it can only be a weird way that we do this.
I know we just talked about the spit, but that's a separate thing. It's a business I run. I'm not the spitters hang out at my house or my apartment. We're not watching the game together.
Right.
That guy. I have a limited liability company that the spitters operates under. So he's not at my house with the kids. With these kids, don't worry about it. But can we get kids somehow into a trick-or-treating situation? How does this work? And
how can we get kids? How can we sort of funnel them to our door?
Can we set up a candy station outside of our apartment on the street? Is that weird? If I'm dressed up like Colin Powell or maybe Prince Harry, and what would you want to be this year?
Well, no, I can't be Meghan Markle, actually.
No. I can't be Colin Powell, probably.
Oh, yeah. No, none of this works.
Prince Harry and you Alec Baldwin, whatever.
I could be Kate Middleton.
Okay, sure.
You could be Alec Baldwin. I could be Kate Middleton.
Like Gary Gleb or Russ Alec Baldwin.
Oh, Russ Alec Baldwin, for sure.
That's going to be... I just tell people I'm wired up. Now, we're outside the apartment. We got a big sign that made out of cardboard, right? We look like sometimes homeless people who are banking look, but not to disparage them, but but we write in marker. We live in an apartment, but but here is candy for you. Or we need to establish it more. I'm saying I want to do. Why can't we do this? Why can't we just be a stop on the candy route?
You could form. We could do this. We could form a candy express outside of the apartment buildings. I mean, maybe I feel like we would need a more fun delivery system.
I write on it. I've never been to jail. I mean, I have been. Jail, well, not prison.
That's an assurance.
Not prison.
You need that.
Yeah.
But you could do.
I won't try to touch you. Should I write that?
That's maybe less assuring, but sure.
Maybe just write no touch candy. Only thing they get in touch.
But then they won't think they can touch the candy.
All right, we write in big letters. Only thing gets touched is candy by you. It's like a big. That's the headline of our it's like a lemonade stand. Picture a lemonade stand,
right?
And it was like two. It's like two apartment dude now. Candy from a. What do you call people in apartments?
Candy from tenement dwellers.
Yes. That doesn't work, but yes.
How
do we express this to people? Okay,
how about this? We get a bunch of small balloons.
Yes.
And we fill them with Jell-O. And
how do you fill a balloon with Jell-O?
And as we, we could kind of put the mix in there and then the water, and slowly it would consolidate into kind of Jell-O substance, I assume. And then as the kids pass, we could kind of start throwing the balloons to them. And
this is like what you find when you autopsy like an undocumented person, and what happened? And you find a balloon inside them, and it's got weird jelly. I've seen this. I've literally seen this. We can't do that, Lucie. I want to have a bunch of old candy.
Candy.
Not old, but old-time candy. I want to have Raisinets. Those are old, right?
Yeah, I think those are sort of old-timey.
Sugar daddies. But set it up like that guy from the Willy Wonka movie was like, I'm the candy man. But you said I'm wearing like a candy stripe outfit, and I'm sweating, and I'm wearing an ill-fitting suit. Or I'm in the costume, whatever. I'm wearing a garbage bag. What's our when we're barking these kids down? How you're a more personable person than that. How do we get these kids to take our candy?
Well, I think it would be good if let's say we make it a challenge.
Yeah.
Because kids like a little challenge. You could dress up
think you're better than me. Hey, Vin Diesel, because he's dressed up like the Vin Diesel character. Hey, Vin Diesel, you think you're better than me? No, you're not too furious.
Now,
Paul Walker's dead.
You could dress up like Death Metal Batman.
Okay.
And be sort of guarding the candy.
Ooh.
I could go up to them in sort of like a Pippi Longstockings costume.
They're gonna be calling me Fat Batman all day. It's gonna be nonstop. Hey, Fat Batman.
But then you lean into that.
It's just repetitive at that point.
If you could steal Fat Batman's candy,
why can't I be the Penguin?
Then you'll be the king of Halloween or the queen of Halloween.
You be Batman, I'll be the Penguin. I'll start vomiting all over the place. It's like, remember Batman Returns? How gross the Penguin was. I'll be spitting up bile, right?
Yeah.
And then we yell at the kids like, I bet you wish you had our candy. You do.
And if they get it, then they get a little McDonald's crown.
Hope you don't. Hope nothing happens to your kids because you wouldn't give them candy. Hope they live through the night. It's spooky.
Right? Yeah. I mean, more threatening than spooky, but sure.
Take our candy or we'll kidnap your kids. That's a really, really cute kid. Hope nothing happens to him. You want a sugar daddy? I don't know. I mean, I'm doing this for you.
Yeah.
Because when a kid comes to you like dressed up like Superman or whatever, or a princess, and they're smiling and they're taking care, I feel nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like seeing them in their little costumes?
They're just greedy little pigs.
And then you get the good candy, and they see you have the good candy, and they're like, oh, it blows their minds.
We don't have we don't have the good candy.
But we would get the good candy, like the big bars.
We're gonna be the big bar people,
Yeah,
like the people who live on in the rich towns.
We could be the big bar.
I once went trick or treating in a rich town, and they gave us big bars, but we're not. I guess we could afford that.
Yeah, we could totally.
I mean, it's not. It'll hurt. It's gonna put a dent in our savings, but we'll do it.
We could get a Sam's Club membership.
What if we hand them, like chocolate bunnies?
That would
like
be
big
surprising.
chocolate. Like what are we like? What if we hand out chocolate like molds of me, right? Like my my gun hands and like. Can we make Kump chocolate?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be good.
That's not a bad chocolate name.
Kump.
Kump.
I just want like I want like a thing shaped like my head that can pressure a kid or his parents to take this head of chocolate. What's a Kump? And shut up before the spitter gets you. We're gonna be hosting Thanksgiving this year. We just found out.
Yeah.
For my parents and my brother. You excited about that?
Very.
I'm a little concerned because we're in the middle of a food shortage. Apparently, there's been discussion that you can't get turkeys, that you won't be able to get. I mean, I'm gonna try and pre-order a turkey like it's a fucking pair of Yeezys, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it. So we need to come up with some stuff we're gonna do for Thanksgiving. Think outside the box. I don't want to do like a baked ziti. I don't want to do my typical boiled ground meat. What's something nice we could do?
We could do a sort of we could do a ratatouille.
What the hell is a ratatouille? I know it's a movie, but what is that?
It's a vegetable dish. It's a nice kind of spirally vegetable dish with different vegetables. I'm working up to the main. I'm starting with the sides. Because you never run out of zucchini.
I don't like the track you're on. Think more chalupa.
Chalupa.
Yeah, something more, ethnic or indigenous.
No, look, chalupas are great. Nobody wants a chalupa on Thanksgiving.
Chalupas are indigenous. I mean, isn't part of Thanksgiving being indigenous?
Well, is it? Wait, chalupas are indigenous to the U.S.?
I don't know. I mean,
they were like a
Mexican. You think?
Yeah, I thought so.
That's racist. I don't know. It doesn't have to. I mean, like people, Italians make chicken cacciatore or turkey cacciatore, don't they?
Yeah.
So what can we do differently?
We could get some ground chicken.
I'm thinking
and sort of mash it into the mold of or ground turkey and mash it into the mold of a turkey.
What about Popeye's chicken? We just grind up some Popeye's chicken, bone it all into a kind of a slurry, and we add some garnish. We add some avocados because that's nice, and because turkeys are they're too big. We don't, that's the thing. I don't know where these turkeys even come from, but the chickens, I feel like they're gonna be more populous, right?
Yeah.
So we just serve a slurry of and cream spinach. Maybe we'll mix some cream spinach into it.
Yum.
I don't know.
Get some big slap bacon.
Can we do bacon? Can we do a pork belly for Thanksgiving? Because everyone's gonna be buying turkey. Maybe we just buy a pork belly.
Yeah.
We should probably just get everyone drunk. We should do a drink game with my parents.
Yes, for sure.
What would the drinking game be?
We could do
drink if you have diabetes.
You do flip cup with them. That'd be nice.
Yeah, no, my mom would do flip cup.
Yeah.
Should we get a stripper?
If there isn't going to be a turkey, then yes.
A guy first, of course.
Yeah.
Big juicy cock. And he's just fucking waving around.
Why not one each?
One cock for each of us?
No, one guy. One guy, one girl.
Oh, okay.
Has anyone ever done that? The guy and girl combo?
I think it's probably been done. You sucking one off, and the other one's eating your ass. Is what we were picturing.
Yeah.
Nice. What should we eat during dinner? We have this fucking guy pulling his cock out during dinner. Is that the plan?
He comes out of the slurry.
Well,
Like the way some strippers come out of a cake, he comes out of our Popeye's chicken slurry.
Well, we don't have a vat that big. So here's what he's
Well,
gonna
we
do.
could get one.
No. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say, hey, everyone, close your eyes for a second. All right?
Right.
We got a surprise, and then a few seconds later, we're gonna open them, and he's gonna still be doing it. He's gonna be this guy with his big cock hanging out, just like ladling the slurry onto his body. And, who's hungry for Thanksgiving cock, slurry cock. And I yell at him because no, it's supposed to be slurry. You say not cock. That was the line I gave you. Yeah, I think it sounds nice.
Yeah.
Just a fucking the strip. Then you get two of them, right? And they start fucking each other while we're eating. We're stuffing our faces. These two people are having sex, and then he's yelling at her, and we're starting to get concerned. Cause like he's going like, shut the fuck up, don't be such a fucking whiny bitch. And I'm looking at you going like, do they know each other? Is that cool? Should I step in here? and then he's like, and then she's like, you ain't shit. This dick ain't shit. like well, is this part of the gimmick or they? And then he just fucking then they come and it's great. I don't know. What the hell are we talking about? All right. You got anything to plug?
Nope, you. Well, yes, you do.
Yeah, I mean, look, you get the Patreon extra episode every week. You sign up. The link's in the description. And, they come out. This comes out Monday. The Patreon comes out Saturday. So if you want to sign up, do that. Whatever. Have a great week.